All right, guys, welcome to this special broadcast that I'm about to engage in. We're going to talk about the movie Dune. This is going to be my review for the movie Dune. Actually, I made a video, but for some reason the it didn't work. Basically, let me just leave it at that. All right, I was going to elaborate a lot more than what I'm probably going to do at the moment. I haven't got any notes in front of me, but I'm going to talk about the movie Dune, produced by Dennis. What's his name again? Dennis Villeneuve, Canadian, French Canadian. He's got some very critically acclaimed sci-fi movies attached to his name. The one that I am familiar with the most is called Arrival, and there's another one. Let me try and find. I should have this information all available, but I don't. Okay, I've got the actors and everything in front of me. Let me find, yes, so there's a director. And Denis Villeneuve is a French Canadian film director, writer, born in 1967. Yes, and the other one I was thinking about is Blade Runner from 2017. That's the Blade Runner 2049. Okay, with what's his name? Gosling. Ryan Gosling. So 2049. So he's made two very good. He's also got Sicario. He also made Sicario, which I've watched recently. But we're gonna speak specifically about Dune. And let me see if there's anybody who wants to be part of this. Maybe I can share a link. Do I want to share a link? No, let me just leave it there. I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm just going to speak about it, and then if anybody wants to say anything, then they can feel free to do so. But anyway, look. So let's talk about Dune. We've got to talk about the backstory to Dune because those who are familiar with the book, okay, from Frank Herbert, can't remember the year it was written, and I never read it. Okay, they know the history, the difficulty attached to making this particular film. And what has really caught people, what's been a pleasant surprise about this particular enterprise, the piece of work that's been put forward by Denis Villeneuve, is the fact that it has supremely surpassed everybody's expectations in terms of brilliance. And I think what also helps is kind of funny and ironic how things work because you see, the first attempt to try and make this movie was in 1984, and it was produced by David Lynch. And it had Kali MacLachlan, I believe that's how you pronounce his name, the guy from Twin Peaks and stuff. You know what I mean? Virginia Madsen. But the director was David Lynch. David Lynch was known for making Twin Peaks, Mulholland Falls. What else was he known for? Anyway, I'm not sure, but I think he made Blue Velvet, right? I think he made Blue Velvet. Now, those type of movies were kind of different. To try and take on a sci-fi movie like Dune. And I think he was in over his head. I think he was really in over his head. I think a lot of people try to cut him some slack because he's got some good movies that people respect, even though I find a lot of them fucking weird, like Twin Peaks and Blue Velvet and shit. I found those movies weird. I didn't really like them, but I think for certain individuals who were the kind of people who used to watch movies back in, he kind of like tapped into this sort of esoteric thing that a lot of these people, these film students, were into at one time, around the time when they shout out to you, Boxing Lounge. Thank you very much for dropping by. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about June. We're talking about June. Talk about the movie June, and we're going to talk a little bit about it. You know what I'm saying? Before I have to, I hope I can. I hope I have enough time to talk about this. So he made the movie in 1984, and it starred Sting. It was an absolute abject fucking failure, absolutely atrocious. Now they cut David Lynch a lot of slack for it. You know what I'm saying? They say, oh, because he was struggling with the studio and everything else, but I just think he was in over his head. I think his vision was shit. I think that the whole thing was just a fucking mess. They said that he had to cut some things out and leave some things in. Well, the stuff that he left in was still shit anyway, and still fucking ugly and disgusting. It was just a mess. And I say this because I remember when people were taking that movie out on VHS because I was working in a record store back then, and people would take it out, and I just wasn't interested. I actually thought it was some cyberpunk bullshit. I didn't know it was a book and it had a strong story behind it. They call it the sort of intergalactical Game of Thrones. Okay. Now, for some reason, I decided to watch it recently, and I think shout out to H Money. H Money, I'll be watching your stuff, man. They go on forever, but it's interesting. Keep on the good stuff. Thank you very much for dropping by. We're talking about movies here though today, right? So yeah. So back then, people would take it, and you got those kind of gothic types, and they would take it out, and they thought it was cool. And by the time I actually eventually got to watch it recently, and the reason why I watched this because of this. When I got to Scandinavia, by chance I came across something called The Foundation by Isaac Asimov, written in 1953, I believe, or something like that, 53 or 54. I made a video about it, but I just haven't put it on this particular channel. I listen to that probably about every night. Now, The Foundation by Isaac Asimov, all right, is the inspiration for Star Wars. There's a connection there. Apple decided to take it upon themselves to try and make, I appreciate you too. Appreciate you too, H Money. You know what I'm saying? Keep it up, man. I'm very you actually, you in a way, you've done something amazing, because I remember when you would just make live streams and there were probably like 2 or 3 people there, and you would go on for like 6 hours. So that in a way you are a person who would who would work hard and see the results. So, if you can turn that into something else, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And you do know your boxing. I gotta be honest, I might not necessarily agree with the way you go about it, but you do. People can't fuck with you on that. So it is what it is. Boxing Lounge, the 1984. Have you seen The Network? Is that like the one that says I'm mad and I want you to be mad with me, with Jack Lemmon, right? I think that's Jack Lemmon, right? I think that's what you're talking about, The Network. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And at the very end of it, it says like the story of so, the first man to be killed over ratings or some shit like that. You know what I mean? But I think I watched that. I actually watched that in Africa. That's the kind of impression that it left on me. You know what I mean? That movie. So, but anyway, going back to June, let me just give you my review of June. Now, The Foundation, I want to talk about The Foundation is on Apple Plus right now, and I was eager to watch it. And to be honest, it is testing my motherfucking patience, because it has really diverged away from the book. It's almost as I have to reconstruct everything in my mind. The characters have changed, you know what I'm saying? They've reimagined the characters. I suppose they've updated it, but you know what? Because I love The Foundation so much, I don't want to get pissed off about it. I don't want to be like, oh yeah, you destroyed it. I don't want to be one of those people who get pissed off about Star Wars and start throwing hissy fits about woke and all this kind of crap, which is not, it's got nothing to do with that. It's just like they've really changed it around. It does look beautiful. The reason why I'm making an association to Dune is because the cinematography of Foundation on Apple Plus, and Apple, they do their stuff differently, is fucking brilliant as well. But Dune takes it to another level. Dune 2021 takes this shit to another level. It is one of the most beautiful things I've ever watched in such a long time. I tell you what it is. I've been watching movies for a long time. I tried to say in the video that I first made about this, like just about every scene, you can equate it to if you ever saw the movie Cleopatra with Elizabeth Taylor and the horse race with Ben-Hur. You know what I'm saying? Those epic scenes. Just about every scene wants to match that. I mean, it's just freaking out. It's like what you want a sci-fi movie to be. It's like on another level. I'm like, man, I can't even express it enough. And it remains faithful to the story too. Now, the main actor, Timothy Chalamet, yeah, good-looking kid. He was in a movie that I saw recently called The King. Very good movie. Yeah, very good movie. I like the movie. I think that was sort of like his breakthrough role. Let me see. Where's that kid from anyway? Timothy Chalamet. Because is he French? Because the way his name is written seems like it's French. It says like Timothy Hal Chalamet was born in Manhattan. He's American. He's the son of a real estate broker and dancer. Pretty boy. Anyway. And Rebecca Ferguson, who plays his mother in Dune, she's half Swedish, half Scottish or something like that. She's supposedly grew up. But anyway, man, look, I'll tell you what, man. I can't really listen. I don't want to go into the story and this and that because it's rather complicated, and that's the first half. And what people are fearful of when it comes to this particular movie is that it's so brilliant and so good and so long that this was like part one, and they're scared that it won't do well enough. It won't appeal to enough people to sort of get part two done. But part two has to happen, bro. It has to happen, and it has to happen on that level. And I don't think that, honestly, I think that this is going to be a problem. It could be a victim of its own success in terms of how brilliant and good it is. Apparently it cost about 160 plus to make, and in the first week, first day opening, it opened with 40 million, which is not really that much. But they say it's made about 220 million worldwide. So I tell you what, I cheated a bit prior to engaging in this review. I checked out some other people's reviews. You know what I'm saying? And just about everybody agrees that it's a good movie except one. Yes, I did see the Joshua interview, Michael Beaufort. I did see it's you know what? I'll give my review of that right now. I'm not supposed to include it in this, but it's probably one of the best interviews I've seen in a long time. And I say that as a person who gets pissed off with Anthony Joshua. In a way, I was still a bit like, you know what I'm saying? But it was very, very entertaining. I'm not sure whether he was playing a character towards the end when he gives this stoic look into the camera and says like he was influenced by people like Big Meat and all that kind of stuff. I'm not into that shit, but it was good nonetheless. It does give you insight into the difficulty he might have faced in terms of the approach that they wanted to take towards the Usyk fight. I think he was advised by his team to fight a particular kind of way, and deep down within himself, he probably thought that he probably needed to go a different direction, and he listened to his team. And now he's thinking like, you know what? I've listened to you. Now I want to do it a different way. You know what I'm saying? Because the way you taught me what we talked about in terms of the approach that Rob McCracken has, which is sort of semi-professional, semi-amateur style, which is good. I mean, that's more or less what's giving Usyk success. But, it has to have a certain X factor to it. And that's X factor is what people like Teofimo Lopez, Lomachenko, and Usyk have. Okay? And Floyd. And Floyd. Young Floyd. Oh my goodness. Young Floyd. When Floyd was bouncing. Oh my goodness. Jesus Christ. Listen, you gotta watch some old videos of Floyd to know. People, It is what it is. Young Floyd, I think a young Floyd, he was like he was skating. It's like he's skating, bro. Like floating. Shh. I can understand why people don't like that guy. When you know that certain people can't do stuff like that. So, but Anthony Joshua doesn't have that. So even Usyk doesn't have that. Usyk's just a trickster. Usyk plays mind games with you. That's more or less what it is. And I think that Teofimo Lopez was aware of those mind games, caught him out, and he had no response. It's all in the mind. It's a mind game it's a mind fuck with them guys. And Teofimo Lopez caught out the mind game. That was it. Like, you ain't finna play no fucking mind games, man. I'm gonna beat you up. That was it. And that was it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not sure how Anthony Joshua is going to approach the next fight. I actually have Anthony Joshua winning the next fight, so no, fuck it. And it's kind of sad because I was thinking about this. Like, as soon as he lost the first fight, I kind of felt like, you know what, man? It's almost as if, like, okay, he went in there, he lost, and it's almost experimental. Let's see what's up. And I have the security of a rematch clause, which people want him to step aside. Now, the people who want him to step aside, are they willing to pay the kind of money that they were claiming that they needed to pay Deontay Wilder to step aside? 80 million. I mean, if they're willing to pay that money and then guarantee that he will get a fight with either Usyk or Tyson Fury, or pay an additional amount of money on top of that, then fine. Then I would suggest that Anthony Joshua step aside. But don't just step aside because Bob Arum says so. That piece of shit. Nobody likes Bob Arum, man. You know what I mean? Nobody likes Bob Arum. Dana White don't like him. Floyd don't like Floyd disliked him so much that he didn't even want to work with him. He wanted to cut him out of the Manny Pacquiao fight. That's how much they dislike him. And you've got to think, because I'm talking about it because, like, Anthony Joshua addressed it, and for once, you know what, man? The only thing is, when it comes to crucial things like that, you feel that the guy from IFL, Kugan Cassius, he sabotages it, and he wouldn't do something like that when it comes to Tyson Fury, in the sense that he would. He took the microphone. The microphone wasn't directly in front of Anthony Joshua when he was talking that shit about Bob Arum. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like he sabotaged that little clip there. You know what I mean? He could have let Anthony Joshua, and he could have even egged him on to say more. Why not? Why not? But it is what it is. But going back to the movie, listen, man. I want to welcome you all here. Who's this? Ron Boy Fresh. I don't know who you're calling Slim. I'm a bit chubby right now. Maybe you're speaking to somebody else, but if you're speaking to me, I'm good. I'm good, my neck. Anyway, yeah. So I would recommend that you go watch Dune. I wish I could have done a better review. You know what I'm saying? It's about over 2 hours long. Fantastic movie. Listen, man. I can't watch it for free. You got to watch it in cinema, or you got to get the fucking Blu-ray. I would encourage everybody to try and make sure this is what we want to see with a sci-fi. You know what I'm saying? I wish, to be honest with you, that I could get yo, what's up? Plant-based. Does that make you vegan? I see your name, plant-based. Does that make you a vegan? Because if you're vegan, I don't know, But hey, good on you, mate. Saving the planet. Are you saving the planet though? I don't want to get into the politics of it. Good for you. As long as it's good for you and you're happy with it, so be it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Notorious One. Thank you for dropping by. I'm about to dip out though. You know what I'm saying? We're just talking about Dune here. We're talking about the movie Dune. Fantastic movie. Josh Brolin. Yeah, let's talk about the individual actors. Jason Momoa, I believed, was overacting a little bit. Okay. He played Duncan Idaho, I believe. Or was it? I think that's the name of the character that he played in it. Stellan Skarsgård, who plays the Baron Valdemar, he was good. Very, very good. Very, very, how could I put it? Very threatening. Allow Wilder, please? What do you mean by that? I'll tell you what, man. I got something coming. a little poke at the Wilder fans out there. A little poke at the Wilder fans out there, man. I got something coming, but I don't want to engage in that because they are very, very sensitive. It's very, very difficult for them right now. You know what I mean? But I think they probably do need to get poked and pushed and prodded a little bit so they can get over it and understand this was just about boxing. You guys decide to turn it into something else because somebody instructed you to do so, and it's the silliest thing. You got so much going on in your lives. A lot of you are privileged to be in the United States, to be honest with you, which means you can take advantage of so many situations. You know what I mean? I'm glad I come from Africa, but I understand the weakness of being born in those type of places, and I'm not gonna come around the West and start yelling about Africa's the best place. No, get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? The whole Deontay Wilder episode exposed a great deal on every level. On every level. Exposed, and it kind of revealed to the observer why, honestly, despite all the assets and brilliance of Black people, they still remain at the bottom of the barrel. You know, let me give you an example. What I tell my wifey here. If you're in Africa, you find that they're very, very brilliant people. But African man, okay, if he builds a bridge, he won't build it to the point whereby it's brilliant, its integrity is fantastic. He's researched it. He's done the foundations. They've waited like 4 years to dig and research. No, it'll just build some rickety bridge over it. As long as it functions, maybe 10 people a year die falling off it, then so be it. That's what happens. I'm using that as an analogy to show you why things get fucked up, because there's a lack of patience, a lack of discipline to get things done the right way. And that's exactly what happened with Deontay Wilder. You know what I'm saying? They wanted to sell you the idea that he was a finished article and he was this, he was that. And it was a load of bullshit. We could all see it. But they weren't trying to hear that. Because, you know why? Because they hated Anthony Joshua that much. That's what really bothered me. That it wasn't, I don't even believe a lot of them really and truly would like Deontay Wilder to the extent that they did if it wasn't for Anthony Joshua. It wasn't for the fact that they had this particular dude. And you know, I saw Anthony Joshua in America recently, and I understand why he's a star. I understand why he's a star. They just gather around him like he's a star. And I don't think that Deontay Wilder has that. I'm sorry. Deontay Wilder has a bunch of dirty niggas yelling. It is what it is. I'm sorry, man. And what you written, man? What you written? You said, I hate the way Wilder fans and Deontay Wilder himself made Fury into this god. Yeah. But what can you do? What can you do? That's what they did. That's what they did, man. Anyway, man. Thank you for dropping by. What you written here? Nah, I don't think they hated Wilder that much. They didn't hate Wilder. They grew to, they grew to love him. You know, I think some of them even love, Joshua. I don't know though. I think they hated Joshua, man. I do. I would not want to believe it, but I've seen even in the aftermath of Deontay Wilder losing, there's a certain bitterness that says it's more than that. All right, what you writing? Said Boxing Lounge, yo 68. I made a trilogy of fights between you and PD. Who's PD? Who's PD? Oh, whoa. I've seen those things you've been doing. You know what I mean? Oh, don't put me on there, man. I've been watching the ones you made of the LDBC dudes. Oh no, I'm gonna have to go watch that now. I've been losing and shit. Who's PD? I don't know who the fuck. Who's PD? Tell me who's PD. Who's PD? All right, I'll check it out. I'll check it out. But anyway, yo, thank you all for dropping by. Go check out the movie. Uh, go check out the movie Dune. Great, fantastic movie. Punch Drunk. Nah, man. Nah, I ain't fucking with that dude, man. Punch Drunk, man. Yeah, I mean, nah. But listen, don't put me in there because I hate to lose against that dude. I don't like that dude at all. At all. You know what I mean? And it's not like well, you can't say it's not disrespectful. I just don't like him. I don't like him at all. I don't like his philosophy. I don't like him at all. So I'm sorry to say it, but it is what it is. You know. So anyway, thank you very much for watching this. Have a good day, as I always say. Drop by. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. And we'll talk a little bit more some other day. Thank you and goodbye.